Greetings, everyone. I'm Tawnya Love, and welcome to the Tawnya Love Show. I am just going to be connecting with everyone today on the importance of bringing the shadow energies to the surface, of bringing, secrets in the family, pain, abuse, violence, anything that's causing suffering is what we're going to focus on today. And I've had this come up personally in my life over the last couple weeks. And I've just been meditating and listening to Spirit on, what is it that I need to share? How can I be a pure channel and express what my heart knows and understands and help and assist in a transformation on the planet in a way that's really needed? And so, what came to me during my meditation was that it's really important that we address the energy of shadow and secrets and violence today on the show. So it's a little bit of a heavy subject, and I've been, like I said, going through it personally over the last week with my own child, which is going to get me a little emotional, but that's okay. Um, Let me center myself for a sec. Basically, the important thing that we really need to tune in about all this is that we stay in our center, which I have definitely been challenged this week on that, but that we really remember that we have a powerful support team that maybe we don't always see, but we can feel them and we can tune in and ask for their help. We can ask for their assistance. And personally, I've been shown that it really is time that we stand up to these energies. It's really time that we take a stand and that we stop enabling or catering to bullies and to violence in any way. And I know personally this can be a very tricky thing to actually stay in alignment with because for 20 years, I lived in a marriage where I tolerated and I tolerated and I took it and I took it. And I did everything I could and I was spinning my wheels trying to think of what next, what could I possibly do to help this stop, to help a human that I could see struggling that I really cared for. And how could I help them actually get the help? And what I realized in that relationship was that I could not make that person get any help. I could not make anybody stop being abusive. I can't make anyone choose the light. However, I can, now that I'm free of that, I can speak about it and I can live a life that's empowered and inspirational and assist others in seeing that it is possible to break free. And sometimes that breaking free may be a lot of work. Um, I say this because for myself, when I left a year and a half ago, it was really hard, and there was not a whole lot of people there for me. It was interesting today. I love synchronicity, and I have a friend, Dawn, who posted a thing on Facebook about a shaman, and the story I reposted. So anyone that wants to go and find me under Tawnya Love on Facebook, you can see that story. And it was about a shaman, and he visited a mental hospital. And he was there and he was observing the mental patients and the people that were really suffering. And from a shaman's point of view, he saw how our culture, our Western culture, really is missing such an opportunity when humans look like they're under great stress and they are, schizophrenic, or they're going through all these things. They're seeing things, they're sensing things because of their sensitivity. Our culture likes to label that and just call it crazy and put someone in a hospital and fill them up with drugs or, isolate them in a dark room. And really, this is not helping anything. It's creating more suffering for a spirit that is actually going through a spiritual awakening. And when I read that story, I thought back to my life a year and a half ago when I was living in hell. It was a terrible relationship. There was no honor there. There was no respect. And I felt like I was powerless in that situation. It was terrible. And when I when I think about that, it brings up emotion, which obviously I'm still clearing because it's kind of come into my life again through my son. And it's triggering some of that stuff. It's helping me to remember and see what it felt like. And in a way, that empathic gift I have is beautiful. It may make me cry sometimes, so bear with me, but it's because I'm feeling it so deeply. But when I see this going on with my child, I see him crying and breaking down, and him, what his family was saying, that he's crazy, and they're, judging and shaming him. And really, what he is this beautiful soul that is very sensitive, that has been around such heaviness and such hostility for so long that he is having an explosive reaction. It's like a spiritual crisis, if you will. And when I was going through that a year and a half ago, that was exactly what those same people said about me. They said, Tanya's crazy. She's lost her mind. She needs to get help. She needs mental help. I was hearing this from people that I once called friends and family. And they were people who took no time at all to tune in and get to know me or to ask me if I was okay or if I needed anything. They were people who were quick to judge, quick to label, and quick to shame. And when I observed them, they were humans that do this to themselves. And I could see how shamed they were and how hurtful, how hurt they were inside. And so they were projecting this hurt and this anger externally. Now, I don't judge anyone's journey because I know we all have our own journey and it's going to be exactly what we need to get where we need to go. I feel like I'm led to speak about violence and abuse, though, today because though we're all on our journey of awakening, we could get to our destination much more quickly if we all move with awareness. If we all start to realize that when someone is trying to control another, when someone is trying to um, control to the level of abusing, control to the level of manipulation and, isolation and degrading and shaming, in these kind of ways, there is a way that we can help and assist that. But we're not going to get anywhere if we continue to ignore it, if we continue to keep enabling the people that are putting this energy out. And so that's my main focus for today, is that even with this subject, with what's going on with my son, it's really important that I know in myself that I don't start to shame or judge or label my ex-husband, because I really can see and feel empathically that he is going through a lot, that he is hurting and he is afraid and he has so much fear and shame inside that it's just like a volcano. It's spilling out of him and it's hitting anyone that's close by. And in this case, it's hitting my child. Like literally, he was hitting my child. And so, though I know this is not an alignment and this is not the healthy path, I also know that there's room for love here and that I need to send love and support. And that if that human that's struggling so much feels some level of support and some level of help from people close by, from our community, from programs that are available for people to get help, like anger management and things like that, then that human can heal and can, come through this. But in our culture, I observe how we love to shame, we love to judge, we love to, cast someone out and tell them how bad they are. And it's a sickness inside of us. It's a woundedness inside of the humans that are doing this. And really, this issue is not going to stop overnight. I know that. But it's going to heal when we address both aspects of it, both parts of it. So there's the person that's being victimized, and then there's the one that's creating the abuse and that's, harming them. And both energies must be addressed for healing to happen. If those two energies aren't both being addressed, then there won't be healing. One energy will pull away and be on their path and hopefully to healing and not becoming, because often when a human's been hurt so much, they will go through energy and actually, they will become harmed and they hold that anger and they hold that hatred, and that, like in Star Wars, it's the path to the dark side, having that anger and hatred. And so often a human will end up becoming what they hate. And so our highest focal point is to clear all this shaming, clear all the hatred and the negativity, so that we can actually heal and clear this. I'm going to pause just for a second. Amnon, is our video
You
totally
need,
messed up?
yeah, you need to just click the camera on the bottom left there under your image and just toggle it. There you go.
Okay.
Every
Is
time you
that,
see it, if it happens,
I'll do
just
that.
click it and bring it back.
Okay. I noticed I was like looking at the
Yeah.
camera part and then,
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
there I go.
Something happened.
That's okay. You guys could still hear me. Um, so basically back to what I was talking about, we as humans have a lot to heal. And for me personally, I would love if any of you watching would like to send love and light my way and my son's way and my ex-husband's way because this is really a healing that's needing to happen at a soul level for all these individuals that have been affected. And this is just my family, but when I look at it, it's something I've lived with most of my life and I've observed it on this planet for so long. And I know that it's not necessary any longer. I know that its time has come to be cleared. However, I can do all my healing, I can do all my work, and I can live a pretty peaceful life until I get that call and my kid's, sobbing and there's police officers wanting to talk to me and I need to go get him. And of course, then I go. And so this past week has been that kind of a week for me. It's been a week staying in my center and addressing things that I never thought I would even have to deal with, but being there and dealing with it. And what I've observed is like there's been amazing, beautiful miracles of people helping. And then there's also been this counterproductive energy of, just our societal, like even the justice system amazes me of how it's really doesn't feel, and I trust my feelings, and it doesn't feel like it's truly set up to protect the ones that have been harmed. It feels more like it's set up to make sure the one that's done wrong doesn't get in too much trouble so that the courts don't have more paperwork and have more stuff that they have to deal with. And this is something we've got to look at all of this stuff. Like, I have met women who come to my yoga classes who've been through domestic violence and their children have been molested. And that though I have a mother who comes to my group who struggles every week to just protect her daughters because she has to go through this system that, until there's enough proof, they will not make sure that those children aren't around that man who has such a record and so much history, yet they say until there's enough proof, they can't do anything. For example, with my son, they were like, well, unless he actually passed out from being strangled, there's really nothing we can do. Because then, it's not a felony. And then in court, they would drop everything. And so then your ex-husband would be free and clear. And just hearing those words was amazing to me. I was just like, wow. So you really are waiting until that child is pretty much dying before you do anything or before you take this seriously. And that's what I feel like I need to speak about today. And maybe I'm going to have some people that don't want to hear any of my shows anymore. So be it. Because I am not here to just speak about the pretty stuff. I'm here to speak about what's going on. And I'm here to address what's going on that's painful and the stuff that we really, as a society and a culture, need to wake up and listen. And we need to do everything we can, each of us, to shift this. And so every day we can look into our own life and notice, am I living in alignment today? Am I living with love guiding my choices today? Am I speaking and putting into action the same energy? If I'm speaking one thing and I'm living in a totally different way, then I'm out of alignment and that's creating suffering. And I see it. I see it all the time. And sometimes I do. I just get frustrated and I'll go into meditation and just be like, angels, what are we doing? Like, how can we help this? And they'll just be like, right before the show, I saw 333 and I just started laughing because it's all about not losing your faith in humanity and trusting that the angels and ascended masters are with us and that they're assisting us. And I do trust that. I totally have faith and I believe wholeheartedly that things are shifting. And sometimes those shifts are slow. I watched civil rights, that civil rights movement took many lifetimes, and some of the humans that were working towards that freedom and justice never saw it come to fruition in their lifetime. And so maybe today that's a part of what I'm here to mirror to each of you that are struggling in any way is to not forget, don't lose sight of the big picture. We need to remember that every act we do, every moment, every time we step into alignment, we live our life with integrity and power, it does make a difference. And sometimes we can forget that when we feel overwhelmed. And there's times like when I'm feeling frustrated, I go into meditation for a reason because I'm too in this physical world. I'm too much a part of the insanity sometimes. Being in courtrooms and being, with police officers is not my typical experience. And so it was meant to happen, and Spirit wanted me to see something. And that's why I was summoned into this experience. However, I know that it's important that I stay connected to spirit, to source, more strong than ever when these things are happening. Because all of this external is an illusion, and the internal is infinite and it's peaceful and it's centered, and we can gain clarity. We can find our connection. And so I'm hoping that all of you listening will, just catch that little nugget that I'm offering you, and it will really encourage you to go into meditation more often. It'll encourage you to go into nature and be quiet. That's what Spirit was telling me today is the humans need to be quiet. They need to quiet their minds. They're so in a chatter. Their minds have so much chatter. They're so busy. They're spinning their wheels. They're trying to do all this stuff. And the stuff is always coming from a place where they want to get something done in a internal space of alignment as well. So I'm hoping that you're hearing that and you're understanding the power of stillness, the power of meditation, the power of quieting your mind and going inward. Let's see, did that stuff glitch again?
Yep.
Okay.
And keep going.
So I'm gonna, yeah. So is there anybody writing in with any questions or comments, Amnon? They're
No,
like,
ma'am.
Tawnya, why are you crying? I'm just kidding.
No, not yet.
Okay. I do encourage any of you watching today, if you are struggling in some way, or if you've been challenged in some way, I will call it, not struggling. I don't even look at what I'm going through as a struggle. Um, I think that sometimes life can bring us challenges and tests and trials that we're meant to get through that will strengthen us in some way, and that will bring greater awareness to us. Um, but if any of you are going through things and you're relating to what I'm saying, or you feel sometimes just overwhelmed and you would like to share, please type in some questions or comments or call in because we'd love to answer those. And we'd love to hear from you. There is great power in speaking your truth. And so I really offer you this platform today. If there's something you want to get off your chest, if there's some secret, some family darkness, something you've been going through a long time and you want to share it and you want to talk about it, claim that space and be courageous today. Um, on to that note of bringing things out of the shadow, Spirit's been talking to me about how important that is, that we as humans, we really need to address these shadowy energies that we suppress. We like to tuck everything down and kind of push it down and not deal with it. And I've watched firsthand what that does. I've observed my ex-husband, who, is a master outside in the world of showing this charming external appearance, and like he's got it all together and he's very controlling about everything. But on the internal part, when I see him behind the scenes, well, when I used to be married to him and I'd watch him behind the scenes, he would lash out and he would just be in so much fear and so much anger and so much control. And it was really frightening. It was like living with two different people. And I used to say he was like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And this was just our normal. This is what our family just experiences normal. Dad comes home, we all jump up, we all feel tense and run around on eggshells and try not to make him upset. And it's really out of alignment. And I, for one, am not willing to live my life in this way any longer. And it took me, like I said, what I had to go through to get to that point where I realized this was not healthy. But some of you are living this way. Some of you maybe are creating this experience for others. And it's because you're afraid. It's because you have feelings of fear and concern. You're overwhelmed. You're overcommitted. You're overstressed. And it's okay to acknowledge that. It's okay and it's important to acknowledge that. Because if you don't address these things that are going on internally and you just think you have the right to spill it out towards the ones you love because they've got to put up with it, you really are harming your own family, the ones that love you the most. You're harming them in a really deep way. And ultimately, you're creating a sense of isolation to where, one day they may not even be there for you because they can't stay in that energy. So it's important that we each address that and that we start standing up for what's right. I think, many of you watching, maybe you're a mother or you're a father that you are dealing with this. You have a spouse that treats you this way, or you see your spouse treat your children in ways that is not of honor and it's out of alignment. Maybe you're a teacher and you know things that are going on with your students, but you don't say anything about it because you just think it's not your business and it's just that's a lot of stuff and you don't really know what to do. It's really important that we start saying something. It's really important that we start shining the light on these situations so that they can be healed. If we continue to suppress them, Spirit shares with me that that is what causes the ultimate suffering on our planet. That is where all the violence comes from. It's where all of the abuse, the molestation, all of these energies are coming from the shadow. I know people personally who have told me when they were very much in a controlled life, they were overwhelmed, they were overcommitted, they were giving everywhere, they were doing everything they thought they should be doing on the outside, going to church, volunteering, doing all the stuff they thought made them look good and would make them a good person. But then when they'd be at home behind the scenes, they're into pornography, they're getting drunk just to go home and deal with their family. They're, feeling afraid to deal with anything in their life, so they just want to go and check out and be busy. And I know people that I love and care for greatly who had to go through a lot of tests to stop that behavior and to clear all of that behavior so that they could come into alignment, so they could live with freedom, they could live with honor, they could love someone with great respect and reverence. And there was no need for the external appearances anymore. There was no need to go and perform and overcommit and over volunteer because they felt connected to source again. And so I know that this is tapping into somebody out there listening and that somebody is going to be relating to this. And if you are, realize that whether you are the one that's been putting out that lower vibrational energy, whether you're the one that has the secrets, you're hiding behind the shadows and you're doing the behaviors that you know are out of alignment, you know it because it feels off, or whether you're the one that's having things done to you or living with someone who's living in ways that are out of alignment and you know that they're up to stuff and they're living secret lives, it's important that we each start to be honest. We need to stop the bullshit. Like in our families, there's so many families that seriously I observe that they only function because of the BS. They all get together, they eat a lot of food, and they talk a lot of superficial talk, and no one talks about anything that matters. And it's just so it's interesting to observe, but I know that if we stop doing that and we started being honest and stop worrying about what we look like and we stop worrying about if people approve of us, because chances are the people that you're around, if you are honest, they're going through stuff of their own. And if they truly are people who love and support you, they're going to appreciate your honesty. They're going to appreciate your power and your courage to shine your light and to speak truth. And if they don't appreciate it and they try to shame you or shun you, realize this. They are humans that are living in shame. They are humans that are living in the shadow. And they will never support until they heal. Until they heal their own stuff, they can never offer you support. And so don't live your life trying to get that support from them, but do live your life with truth and honor and integrity, and do allow Spirit to shine the light and show you where those are on this planet that are here to support you, that are here to support your mission, that are here to love you for who you are. Because each of us deserve that. We all deserve that. We deserve to be loved. We deserve to be supported. If you watching have been raised with violence and abuse and you've been shamed and you've been treated negatively because of something that they tell you you did wrong, that's why you feel you're not worthy. It's not because you're not worthy. You are worthy. You have been brainwashed. Many of us on this planet have been brainwashed. We have been taught to believe there's something wrong with us. We've been taught to believe we're sinners and we're bad and we need to go and do something to get the approval of God or an external God. And this is all out of alignment. Each of you watching, no matter what your belief system, which I am sure that I may be challenging some belief systems right now, and that's okay. Because if you can handle that challenge and you can start to ask the bigger questions, Spirit will bring you the answers. I promise you that. So each of you tuning in, if your highest goal and intention is to live a life of alignment, to live a life of love and truth and integrity, you will be fine. You will know exactly what you need to shift, what you need to drop and release, and what you need to clear from yourself in order to do that. But if you guys are out there living and you don't really care about living in alignment, you want to keep living in the shadows and you want to keep making excuses of why you're allowed to abuse others or why, um, you can just get away with treating people negatively, then you're going to have more karmic consequence because it is happening. Like there is a greater pressure. I'm sensing like a greater speeding up or a quickening of energetic shift and spiritual consciousness. And so I'm seeing humans that once got away with a lot of things and they're not getting away with it anymore. I'm observing humans that once, played the victim role and they got a lot of things for it and it's not working for them anymore. Because our highest soul's mission, each of us, is to evolve and to come back to this space of wholeness and alignment and to live a life of integrity. I assure you, no matter what you achieve externally, nothing will be enough. It will never satisfy you. I can promise you that today. And 20 years, if I talk to you and meet you in person someday and you come up and talk to me, you will let me know that that's true because anything external is short lived. Whatever we have internally going on is our alignment or our lack of alignment. So if I am living a life of integrity and I am being true to self and I am in my alignment, I am living with my power and my purpose, then no matter what I achieve externally, that is in place and I feel a sense of fulfillment. I feel in my power. I feel inspired. I'm one with Source. If I am living without that alignment and I'm out achieving things externally, maybe I'm getting more money or I'm getting more fame or popularity or I'm seeking something externally and it looks like I'm doing really great on the external level, it won't last if that alignment is not happening internally. So I really would like you to just take a moment and ponder that thought and let it kind of settle in because everything that we're seeking, truly what is going to make us feel a sense of peace, the peace that surpasses all understanding, is going to happen internally. And as a healer, that is exactly what I'm on this planet to do. When I was reading the story on Facebook about the shaman who was in the mental hospital and he saw all these people that really were having a spiritual crisis and that they were sensing the spiritual realms and they were in the third dimensional realm, the physical realm, and they didn't know what to do with it, so they were feeling kind of out of balance. That's exactly the kind of clients that I can help and not that extreme. It doesn't have to be to the point where you're in a mental hospital, of course not. But I've had clients that are very intensely at a spiritual crisis level, and then clients that are just, needing to step into their power, to be courageous, to stop thinking they need to ask their spouse for permission to be what they want to be, to stop tolerating abuse from their children or from people around them and think they have no power. Each of us has to heal these things, and then we're going to shine. We're going to have an amazing, powerful life. But as long as each of us tolerate all these little things each day in, day out, we tolerate, we enable, we just go and cater to the ones that are out of alignment left and right, how is it that you ever expect anything's going to change on a bigger picture level? We have to heal ourselves. And that's what I have dedicated my life to assisting with as an intuitive healer is to help clients tune into that soul level shadow, what's going on deep down, the shadow energies, the things they don't want anyone to know, if they're courageous and they allow me to look in, I tune in and I find that stuff. Sometimes things they know about, sometimes things they're not even conscious about. But it helps them. And I've seen clients that have turned their lives completely 360 around, turned their life upside down from one level of being a victim, feeling they had no power, being confused, being addicted to drugs, being, you know, what am I going to try to say? Being abused, and then changing that to where they come completely full circle. They're living in their power. They're living out their purpose. They're living with integrity. They're excited. They're happy because they're not living in shadow anymore. They're not denying or suppressing their true soul's mission. So I really encourage any of you listening and any of you that have been summoned in to connect with me that you felt for a while that you need to heal some things. You felt for a while, I really would like to talk to somebody, but I don't know. It's scary and I don't know who I can trust. I encourage you to trust why you've been summoned to me and to really connect and to take that step into your power, because I promise you, each of you that does your healing work, it's going to not only benefit your own life, but it's going to benefit everyone's life around you. If I am living with a loved one who does not live in their power and they constantly let others manipulate them and they just live superficial, shallow existence, it's going to affect their entire life because they've got that going on inside of them at a cellular level. If I lived with a loved one who is brave and clears that, they come into their power, they face things head on, they speak their truth, they can feel quickly when someone's trying to manipulate them, and so they say something about it. I observe that human shift everything, and their life starts to take off in a new direction. There's beauty and power and purpose there, and abundance and good, amazing things start to flow in for a soul that's in alignment. So, I say this with the highest intention and the most loving intention to encourage each of you to really seek that alignment and to claim it, because I hear too often excuses. Too much do I hear excuses. The only and most important thing in each of our lives is our alignment, period. If we're saying, oh, Tawnya, I would love to heal my stuff, but I've got a lot of work to do. I'm really busy. I don't have enough time. But your health is slipping and your body's getting more stressed and your relationship's getting more and more out of control. And yet you just go work, work, work. I see exactly why a human is doing that. They're doing that because they don't want to deal with something. They're doing it because they're afraid and they're overwhelmed. However, I've observed that pattern and that direction never helps resolve the situation. It never truly heals or addresses it. It's just avoiding it. It's an avoidance tactic. I see humans that will say, I don't have enough money to help to come and see you, Tawnya, but then I see that they're out partying and getting drunk, and I see that they're choosing to, buy drugs, and they can pay for their drugs, but they can't pay a healer to get their clearing. So you see where I'm coming from? I'm just going to speak it today because it's time to stop with the excuses. It's time to stop with the BS. Because if we want to help ourselves, we have to help ourselves. If we want to live in our power, if we want to stop living in a poverty consciousness, we have to actually go spend time around those who are in an abundance consciousness. If we want to stop with feeling sick and having illness and suffering, we need to spend time with those who understand how to swiftly heal and to come into our alignment. And it's really important that each of us value that. Because if we don't, as a society, value our own healing, if we don't value integrity, if we don't value alignment, then I can tell you exactly where the direction of our society is going. And it doesn't look good. However, if we see that, wow, we've really created a lot of chaos, a lot of destruction on our planet, a lot of pain and suffering in our families and in our bodies and our own personal lives, and it's not fun, and I'm ready for a different way, okay, let's connect and let's start talking about that. Let's start pointing ourselves in a direction of that conscious shift and face whatever we need to face in ourselves and do our healing work. No one on this planet could have done my healing work for me. And I did make excuses, so I have compassion and understanding of why each of you are doing it. However, when I did the work and when I stepped in and I listened to spirit more than the insane world, everything started to change. And some of you out there are having these amazing spiritual experiences happening because you're awakening, you're shifting, you're starting to remember more of the truth of who you are. And if you're working with someone that you trust that's of a high vibration that can tune in and assist you, it will be so amazing and powerful for you and supporting your journey than if you are on your own and you think that you're crazy because the people that you're around don't know what to do with the experiences you're having, so they're calling you crazy. So it's really important that each of us start to look at our own personal lives, like pay attention. If I'm hanging out with these people and they're shaming me every day and they're insulting me, they're abusing me mentally, physically, or emotionally, that's like I'm getting poison poured on me every day. Poison's poured inside of me, and every day I feel weaker and weaker, and I doubt myself, and start to feel like I'm crazy. My son literally told me, Mom, whenever some of our family were going off on him and saying that he was crazy. He's like, whenever they say that, it's like if you hear that long enough, you start to believe that. And I told him, I understand, baby, what you're talking about. And that's why you need to stay away from their vibration for a while. You need to come into your own power. You need to heal, and then you'll be able to handle it. But sometimes we need that period where we get away from our family. And I love my family, but there's times in my journey that I knew in my soul I had to get away from them in order to heal myself. I had to remove myself from toxic behavior in order to get into my place of power because being around it just triggered so much pain and I couldn't handle it. So every soul needs to know what it can handle and tolerate. And if you're feeling like being around lower vibration is taking you down and you're sinking in the swamps, you've got to get away. You've got to take yourself to a space where you can really heal and come into the light and come into your power. And it may mean that you go stay with a friend for a while, or you go on a vacation if you can do that, or you move into a different environment. Maybe you're living with roommates that are toxic, or you're working at a job that's really toxic. All of that is an illusion. All of it can change, and all of it must change if you really want to thrive. So each of us needs to start paying attention to what we tolerate. I remember talking to a woman. I had gone to work at the YMCA, and it was a toxic environment. This certain individual that ended up getting fired later from the messages that I did bring, but I was there for a short time as a messenger, and Spirit told me, "You're here as a messenger. Just speak the truth." And so I did. And I talked to the woman who had worked there before. And this was after I had left the job, and I told them all the messages. And she was just like, "Tawnya, I wish I could have been as courageous of you as you and actually spoke the truth, because when I left, I went through that and I tolerated that man's abuse for a year. And then I just left because I couldn't take it anymore. And I told them I had other opportunities, and I lied. And I told her, you know what? It is never too late to speak the truth, and that this truth being delivered at this time could be very powerful." And she spoke that truth, and I had spoke my truth, and they ended up firing that man, and there was a karmic consequence for what he was doing to others. But do you see how this was a joint effort? There was two humans that had to really come into their power and claim their courage and face this rather than just tolerate it, rather than pretend it didn't happen and just go on and get into a new job and pretend nothing happened. This is what each of us has to do. And if every one of us on the planet, every human listening, were doing that, there would be a lot less violence, there would be a lot less abuse, there'd be a lot less corruption. But most of us, I can tell by looking at society, most of us are not doing anything about it. We do nothing. We just pretend we didn't notice that. We see violence on a train and we pretend we don't notice because it's not our situation. We see a mother abusing a child and we don't say anything, or check in to see if that child's okay because it's not our kid, it's not our business. We are at a job and we see someone being treated poorly or even sexually being harassed, and we say nothing because we don't want to lose our job. See where I'm coming from? All of that matters. Every single person that ignores alignment and pretends they don't see something, you're contributing to the problem. And we can pretend we're not, but we really are. Every one of us that just, accepts the lower situations and we say nothing, that's part of the issue. we have to start speaking our truth. And it may take a while, it may take some time on the physical plane to actually shift. But if each of us are living in this way, if each of us are following our alignment and we're speaking with truth and we're living in honor and integrity, this used to actually be important to some of us. And it's really, at a soul level, so important to us. It's always been important to us. But in a societal way, integrity and corruption and abuse, it's just like normal now. And that's what's really disturbing is like I'll listen to songs on the radio and they're the top 40 songs, and so many of them are singing about the abuse and the problems and the toxic, abusive relationships. And we sing about it as if it's fun and it's normal and it's okay. And this is what we, as our Western culture, we have a lot to heal. And we can just pretend we don't. And I'm not saying get angry and go start a blog and just be pissed off, because that's not going to really help. We need to remember laws of attraction. And if we remember the laws of attraction, we speak our truth, we face what comes to us in our now, and we keep our focus positively held on a future horizon of alignment. And we keep taking steps every day in that direction until we experience a shift in a physical way. And so that's what we each need to keep in mind. If we're in a domestic violence group and we're just talking about how much we hate people that abuse, we're doing nothing to help heal the situation. In fact, we are contributing to the problem. If we're hating, if we're shaming, it's not helping anything. So if we want to start shifting these things, we do need to express our truth. We need to express how that upset us and how it hurt. We need to have our feelings acknowledged, and we need to also then focus on where we're going. What is it we want to achieve because of where we've been? I've been through a lot of abuse, and I'm not going to sit up here and be a victim and talk about it in a poor me way, because it will do nothing to help anything. However, going through those experiences, I can speak of what I've learned, what I've experienced, what I understand, and where it is I would like to go, where it is I would like humanity and society to shift to. And that can be very powerful, because then we gain this energy. We get more and more humans coming together. We create a synergy and create this amazing energy that starts to build an energy of manifestation, and we will experience on a physical level all that we're ready for. But it's going to take integrity and alignment and truth. And the days of lying and stealing and cheating and, abusing, those days are coming to an end. And we really need to keep our focus on what we are ready to step into as a culture, as humanity on a planetary level. If we truly wish for our lives to be more beautiful and more in alignment, we must do this work. So I'm going to pause. Hey, 444. Angel number 444. You guys have to look that one up. Any questions, Amnon, or any comments?
No comments, no questions. People are just listening.
Okay, that's fine. A couple things that I was going to mention, which I'm going to read you the card that I drew today. A couple things for the local people only. Well, actually, I won't say only, because I actually can accept clients through Skype if you're open to that. I actually did a Pilates teacher training, and I had a client that was tuning in from the East Coast through Skype, and it was awesome. So I'm going to be starting a yoga meditation. It's called The Essence of Yoga, and it's a yoga meditation teacher training at the end of June. And so if any of you are interested in that, contact me. You can email me at tawnya@gmail.com. It's TAWNYA, angel. Or go to the website Tawnya Angel 555, and you can see information about all my stuff. And I believe my email should be there. I think it is. And then if you're on Facebook, find me on Facebook and under Tawnya Love, because I post everything I'm doing on there. And I just wanted to let anyone watching know about that in case you would like to come and work with me as a student for 3 months. We're going to meet once a week for 3 months, so it's going to be a very intensive training and an amazing life-changing mentorship experience. I love doing these trainings, and I love how they're so intimate and connected for 3 months' time. It's not a quick, get a certification in a weekend and you're on your way and good luck to you. It's a real, true connection and experience, and creating this soul family experience that can really help empower you and prepare you for becoming a teacher if that's your journey, if that's your intention, or maybe just developing your own yoga practice and your own meditation practice. So I encourage you to contemplate that if you're ready for some deeper shifting and healing. I would love to assist you. And then the other thing is, Spirit has been calling me to really listen. A year and a half ago, I was in a shamanic journey and I was told it was time to lead my tribe, and that I was to lead my tribe in a great shift of awakening consciousness on a planetary level. And since that time, I have been doing a lot of work in that direction and work with clients one on one and offer workshops in my home and the internet show that I now have. It's all come together. But this new thing that's come in is I'm feeling Source guiding me to actually lead a sacred women's circle. And we're going to meet one day of the week. One day of the month for a year. So we're going to commit to a year of connection and then coming together the last Saturday of every month starting in July. And so if any of you are interested in being a part of that, it is possible you could be via Skype. I could only take, a couple people, but this is going to be something, if you do live local, it would be amazing for you to experience. It's going to be very much stepping into your inner shaman role. And so we're going to really be doing a lot of shamanic healing, shamanic drum circles, past life regressions, guided meditations, fire ceremonies. Everything is going to be very much about connecting to that more tribal, instinctual place where we've come from as women, and to come into this circle to share our magic and to create a powerful synergy amongst the group in supporting each sister with her soul's mission, and how we can do that together more powerfully than we can do it just feeling like we're on our own. So that's my new intention that I am setting up, and it's starting in July, and it's $30 a month, so just $30 for, meeting once a month for 2 hours. So if any of you are interested, again, contact me on my email, or you can write in a question on the show, or find me on Facebook, and I would love to work with you. And then I also want to read this because I picked a animal totem card today, and I just felt like it was perfect because, like I said, Spirit's been calling me to come back and really embody my inner shaman and to lead my sisters and to start the sisters circle. So this was a perfect card. It's the Golden Orb Spider. Whoops, where's the thing? So I hope none of you are afraid of spiders, but if so, maybe I'll give you a new way to look at spiders today. So the Golden Orb Spider. The sun sets in the forest. A golden silken thread drops from a tree branch, connecting to the base of a small bush. A nimble form descends down the line to a halfway point, and then shoots another golden strand at an angle, connecting to the bark of a fallen tree. Positioning herself in the center, she silently weaves a great circle around her, intricate, balanced, and strong, stretching far beyond her body, but ever connected to its source. I am Spider. To the Native Americans, Spider is the grandmother, the messenger, and the wisdom keeper. She is the dream catcher and the living link to both the past and the future. Spider is thought to be responsible for teaching humans how to weave. To many ancient peoples around the world, Spider plays a vital role in connecting the energy of the spirit world with that of the human world through her quiet weaving of the web of life. I so relate to this card as an intuitive healer because that's exactly what I do. And it's just really awesome how this card came in exactly as I'm being called to start this group. So, Golden Orb spiders get their name from the shimmering hue of their spider silk. The silk, which is made from water, is known to be tougher than Kevlar and up to 5 times stronger than steel. Female orb spiders build the world's largest webs, often over a meter in diameter, which serve as a home, hunting ground, and food storage and incubator of their eggs. When a male spider comes courting, he must carefully pluck the outer strings to announce himself in order to avoid being eaten. Yikes! The female will lay 100 or more eggs in the womb of the web, and the male will fertilize them before dying shortly thereafter. The female will live through the season, but will pass away long before her young hatch into the world. From the moment they are born, baby spiders will begin weaving webs of their own into the story of life. So the message for each of you listening: Dreamweaver, balance keeper, co-creator and connector of life. When Spider visits your path, she brings valuable guidance to help you consciously design the life you truly came here to live. Alignment, I'm telling ya. As Spider crafts her web to draw to her all that she needs, she comes with the reminder that you are the weaver of your own life's story. More powerful and creative than you may realize. Now is the time to clear your mind and ask yourself quite simply, what do I really want to create? So this is really an important question, because everything that we think about and every action we take is coming from that what do I want to create? And if we're not living in alignment, we're creating chaos and we're creating suffering. If we truly wish to create love and health and alignment, we have to live in that way. So really think about that. Start from the center of your being and imagine drawing together all the aspects of the life you truly wish to live. Consider the different elements of home, nourishment, creative work, family, love, friendship, and prosperity, as well as your special contribution to humanity and the earth, your soul mission. Choose consciously and creatively. Stretch yourself to see beyond the webs you have woven yesterday. So don't limit yourself, guys. Like what you've been through, where do you want to go? That's where you need to keep your focus. Okay, let's see. So stretch yourself into a great colorful vision, knowing that as you dare to dream, this vision begins to materialize. Have faith and believe in your dreams. I'm telling ya. The more conscious you become of your interconnection to all of life, the more powerfully you will begin to draw to you all that you need, turning the visions of your dreaming into the reality of your being. Spider is your ally. Consciously create, intimately connected. Embrace your connection to the great web of life. So again, this comes to that point, what I was talking about, where Source is reminding us we are all one. We're all connected. If I'm suffering in some way, it's a reflection of your suffering. If you're suffering in some way, you're reflecting some sense of suffering inside of me. If each of us starts to see this, we can really stop with the shame game and we can start with the healing. We can start with the connection and the assistance and helping each other instead of degrading and shaming and harming. That's all ego. Here's your affirmation. I awaken the dream weaver who sees beyond limits. Today is a powerful day to dream. And I'll say that one more time. I awaken the dream weaver who sees beyond limits, or sees beyond all limitations. That's what's coming to me. Today is a powerful day to dream. So I encourage each of you, after hearing that, to really quiet your mind, and after this show, just stay in that space where you are for a few minutes in silence. Close your eyes and really connect in your heart space. Connect with your heart, your mind, your spirit, and really tune in and ask yourself, what is it that I'm ready to create? What is it that I am here to be a part of? How may I serve? A great question to begin every day with. How may I serve? And don't underestimate if you're a mother dealing with police officers in one day and another day you're leading a workshop, they're both valuable and they're both important. If you're a father, one day you're out fishing with your buddy and relaxing, another day you're dealing with how to pay off debt and you're trying to figure out what to do with your job. It's all important and it's all needing your presence and your awareness and it's all needing your integrity and your alignment. So let us for this week really set the intention to live in alignment, to live with integrity, to really care about each other, and to really offer and extend ourselves in a way of love and light and offering our support. And if there's those around, like myself, that are intuitive healers that would love to help, go to them. Go and reach out. If you don't feel a connection to me, that's okay. Go to someone. Go and connect and do your healing work. I've seen amazing miracles for the ones who have the courage to delve in and heal. And I am going to be offering the women who join the Sacred Sisters Circle, I'm offering a $50 discount for any one-on-one sessions, and I will share that same discount with anyone tuning in today. If you're not able to be a part of the Sacred Sisters Circle, I would love to help you as a one-on-one soul coach, or I would love to help you with remote angelic auric clearing. It's amazing, powerful, and life transforming. And all that's necessary is your honor and your valuing it. And you're taking the time to claim it and to claim sacred space to work and heal on the things that you need to deal with. So if you're feeling that it's time and that you would like to work with me, contact me and I would love to help you all. And I wish you all an amazing week.
You
And
can't sign off yet.
okay, I'm not yet. I was just going to ask you, um, did anyone write in with any questions, Amnon?
A comment.
Okay.
My dear Tanya,
Hmm.
I hear you so clearly. I'm
Awesome.
so sorry for not being in my power with my parents today. I knew if total truth came out, then an argument would ensue. My power is getting stronger. It's just taking time. Love you.
That's awesome. That's my beloved right there. I love you, Ron. He's so awesome. Yeah, and it's interesting because I see so much and I feel it and I have to speak truth. But I also understand that every human's got their timing of, when is it time to really step into your power? That's very personal. I personally feel that time is always now, but that's because I've done all that healing work and I know how important that is and that that's the most important thing is to stay in alignment and live with integrity. However, I know that many are on their journey still of coming into that place, and I give them honor and I love them and I support them. Everyone, every soul listening today, no matter where you are on your path, I know Spirit loves you and supports you, and I love you and I support you, and I have great compassion. I feel that the frustration comes just when I know that the humans can see what they need to do and they resist it and they avoid it, and it creates more chaos and it creates more suffering. And that's just the wisdom in me speaking. I can't help but speak that wisdom because, like that dream weaver, grandmother spirit, wisdom keeper, I'm channeling spirit and I'm tuning in and I'm here to speak truth and bring messages of this wisdom. And it's not just for myself, it's to serve this planet, it's to serve humanity. And I know that those who are listening and having reverence will be blessed and benefit in amazing ways. And those who continue to ignore and disrespect and degrade, they will continue to cause suffering for themselves and others. It's as simple as that. But I do salute and give honor to all of you wherever you are in your journey and however much work you have had to do to this point and how much work you still have to do. And maybe we could change the word work into spiritual play and spiritual transformation. Maybe don't look at this as a hard thing and as work, because that word can seem like it's going to be work, it's hard. And really, it doesn't have to be. It can be very playful, it can be very fun. And I see it in all my workshops and with all the clients I work with one on one. The reason they love working with me is I'm very to the point and very honest, but I'm playful and I have a sense of humor, and they love that because they see, like, okay, I'm not in trouble. This isn't going to be hard, but I do need to step up to the plate. If you never step up to the plate, you can't play. And if you never really, arrive and step in, you can't really be what you came here to be. And that is my soul's highest fulfilling moment, is when I see a soul that I've assisted step in fully and they start to play with power and they start to really embody what their soul came here to embody. That is a beautiful moment beyond words. And that's what I hope for every one of you. That is seriously my soul's highest dream and wish, is to be a catalyst and a channel for that and to facilitate that on a planetary level. So I thank all of you for tuning in today, and I send you so much love on whatever you're going through. And maybe this week, let's just be really nice to each other, and let's be really nice to ourselves. Anytime you notice you're thinking of a shaming thought or you're thinking a judgmental thought, maybe you could just delete that thought and choose a higher thought. And watch how that simple act will start to shift your day and then your week, your month, your year, and just really start to show kindness to everyone. Let's start just, putting out random acts of kindness and care, and realize that everyone is in a certain place on their journey, and honor that and show kindness instead of just pretending like, oh, it's their problem, I don't need to deal with it. We are one, guys. all of this stuff going on, it's affecting all of us. We share a planet. This is our home. Let's all show honor to each other and to the earth and watch the amazing things that shift. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions or comments, you can send me private messages on Facebook under Tawnya Love. And I am so glad you tuned in today. And I look forward to connecting with you again next week at 4. Thank you guys and have a blessed day. Namaste.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Reawaken Your Brilliance with Julie Seibert, and if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals. ThatVidBlasterGuy.com, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.